Welcome back to Market Cross Guesthouse Kitchen. One of the things I get asked most about here in the bed and breakfast is how to make a perfect poached egg. This is the method that I use and it works every time for me. You need to start off with a really good sized pan. This is the type of pan I use when I'm making for breakfast for the guests. If Steve's just having poached eggs for breakfast, again I would use a pan this size. So fill it right the way up with water, bring it to the boil. Then you need to add a really good glug of white vinegar. You can use white wine vinegar, I use white distilled vinegar. So you'll see, a really good glug. And then you need to wait for that vinegar to come back up to boil, and then you want to reduce it to a simmer. Because as the name says, it's a poached egg, not a boiled egg. So we'll reduce that right down. If you look inside the pan, you'll see lots of lovely little bubbles on the bottom. So that's about right by the time I've got everything else sorted. I put my eggs in a ramekin and then put them in the water because I find it easier to get them in the right place. Sometimes the egg shells can be a little bit harder and sometimes it doesn't break quite properly in and you get eggs. So if you put them in a little ramekin, it's much easier to get them right in the right place. So spoon, swirl round till you get a nice vortex going in the middle. Then you take your ramekin and you just slip it in. Now I am going to add another one to the pan. For that size pan, I would probably add 4 or 5. They'll quite happily do in there together. You'll see you get this lovely little twisted bit, and that's obviously where the egg has gone through the water and it started to form its little teardrop. So they take about 3 minutes. You can test them to see whether some people prefer them much runnier, and some people will often say, oh, can I have mine firmer? It's no problem for me. Right, the other really good handy tip, if you're not comfortable about putting a lot of eggs in the pan at once, is you can do what they tend to do in a lot of big hotels when they're cooking a lot of breakfasts, is they will pre-cook them. So you get a big bowl of iced water, you cook your eggs till they're just almost cooked, and then at that point, when we take them out of the water, you plunge them into this iced water. The iced water will stop the eggs continuing to cook, and then when you're ready to actually serve them, you have a pan of boiling water, you put them back into the boiling water. They take about a minute to heat through, and there you go, you've got your perfect poached eggs. So we'll have a quick look at these. Here we go. As you can see, that's still very, very wobbly, as is that one. So we'll just give those a few more minutes. What I also have here is a J cloth. So when I take the eggs out of the water, I will drain them on the J cloth to take off any excess water that's been held in the egg. So after a couple of minutes, we'll just check them again. Now you see that? I would be happy. That's got a lovely little, it's firm here. So to my mind, that's perfect for Steve. So onto the kitchen roll, tip it over, it'll drain any water, tip it back and onto the toast there. This morning I'm serving it with malted seeded loaf. All of our bread here at Market Cross is homemade with the wonderful flour from Heather Slaw Mill just up the road. So that's our poached eggs. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and voila, a perfect poached egg. I hope you've enjoyed that and I look forward to seeing you again soon.